Buenos días y bienvenidos a semana 11. Ya hemos casi terminado. So we're nearing the home stretch here. So we are in week 11. Okay, so as always, you'll be watching this video as the first thing. Now this week actually is kind of a short week. Okay, you're going to be doing the first part of capítulo 5. So you're going to identify and refer to different parts of the body, and you'll be able to refer to indirect objects by their pronouns. Okay, so last week we did a lot with direct object pronouns in the last chapter. Now we're in indirect object pronouns. Okay, so as always, you'll be reading the textbook and completing the corresponding My Spanish Lab activities. The quiz this week is over My Spanish Lab. You're going to be turning in Dialogo 6, Dialogue 6, on Wednesday of this week, which is March 27th. And you'll be able to start working on Dialogo 7, Dialogue 7, which will be due Wednesday of next week or April 3rd. Okay? And don't forget to continue logging an hour of the language and cultural contact. Okay? So, again, in Lista de Tareas, you have a Semana 11 plan. So this is the plan kind of divided out, telling you which pages of the book cover which themes and what are the corresponding My Spanish Lab activities. Okay? And again, as I just mentioned, you're going to be taking the quiz in My Spanish Lab. And this quiz is a little bit shorter than the others. Okay? You'll, again, turn in on March 27th your 6th dialogue, and the 7th one will be due next week, April 3rd. Okay? So Dialogo 6, you should already be familiar with. You bring that up. Dialogo 6 es diálogo entre un enfermero, una enfermera y una paciente con la gripe. Okay, so one person, enfermero, enfermera, will play the nurse, and the other person will be the patient who happens to have the flu, which is very common right now. Okay, so as always, you'll have the appropriate greetings. The nurse should introduce him or herself, ask the patient what his or her name is, how to spell his or her first and last name, how are they feeling today, what is their birth date, and then you're going to find out if, and let me correct this one moment. Okay, so let me go back to ask your patient for their name and how to spell the first and last name, and find out how they're feeling today and what their birth date is, and then find out the following: if he or she is hungry or thirsty, hot or cold, is sleepy, and let the patient know that he or she has to drink a lot of water, that he or she has to call if he or she has a problem breathing, that he or she has to be careful. Thank him or her, and then close it appropriately. Okay? So that will be Diálogo 6. Now, Diálogo 7. Diálogo 7 es un diálogo entre un médico asociado y un joven paciente hondureño que tiene dificultad para dormir. So one person is going to be the physician's assistant, and the other person will be a young man or woman from Honduras who's having trouble sleeping. As you'll notice, not all the verbs in this exercise will require you to use the reflexive. Okay, so in this one, you're going to have appropriate greetings, and the physician's assistant should introduce him or herself, ask the patient for their name, how to spell the first and last name, how he or she is feeling today, why is he or she here today, what time does he or she go to bed, what time does he or she fall asleep, when and what time does he or she wake up. Tell your patient that the doctor will see him or her in a few minutes, thank him or her, and then close the conversation appropriately. Okay? So that is Diálogo 7. Okay? The last thing this week is recursos. There's not a lot, but there is a PowerPoint that could help you with indirect object pronouns, or indirect objects and their pronouns. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, so semana 11 is really kind of a short week or small week in terms of the amount of tarea due. Okay, so as always, let me know if you have any questions. Que tengan un buen fin de semana y una buena semana.